Okay, so here we are. We're attempting our first flipped lesson. This is going to serve two purposes. One, it's going to see who has access to the videos and how they go. Second, it's going to just give us a chance to review integer rules and have a chance to try out some things that maybe we forgot over summer. So integers are positive and negative numbers that would show up on the number line, whole numbers. And here we go. We're moving on to the next slide. We're adding positive integers. We have an example of 6 plus 23. As we see, both set of integers or both of the integers are even. So we go ahead and add and we end up with 29. Our next example. If we have this, we might have one integer that's negative, another integer that is positive. And so we have negative 8 plus 13. Here the signs are opposite. And when the signs are opposite, we end up subtracting the two integers. So 13 minus 8 is 5. And 13 is the larger absolute value. So our answer is a positive number. So positive 5. And finally, our third example, if we have two negatives, negative 8 plus negative 7, they both have the same sign. So we're going to treat that like the first example. So we're going to add 8 and 7, that is 15. And we keep the sign, so it's negative 15. As we look at subtracting integers, again, kind of the same thing. If they're the same signs, we treat them like we always have. 16 minus 8, if they're both positives with the same sign, we know 16 minus 8, like it's always been, is 8. Nothing new here. If I have something that is negative 19 minus 8, what I like to do is change the sign of the second number. We leave the first integer. So it's going to be treated as negative 19 plus negative 8. Here the signs are the same, and if you remember from last year, same signs, add and keep. We end up adding 19 and 8, and we get 27, and it's a negative 27. Another example, if we have 16 minus negative 23, again, I like to rewrite these as add the opposite. So 16 plus the opposite of negative 23 is 23. At this point, it's pretty straightforward, and we end up with 39 as our final answer. One more example we'll do in green. 12 minus 34. Again, I'd like to rewrite this to 12 plus the opposite of 34 is negative 34. In this instance, the signs are opposite, so we will go ahead and subtract. We end up with 22, but the absolute value of negative 34 is larger than the absolute value of 12, so we have a negative sign included in our answer. So the final answer would be negative 22. Moving on, multiplying integers. Here we can go ahead and go, we're going to end up just multiplying the numbers like we always have and then take a look to see how many negative signs we have. If there's an even number of negative signs, our answer is positive. If there is an odd number of negative signs, you might recall our answer is negative. So in this case, it's 5 times 18. That is 90. There are no negative signs, so our answer is a positive 90. Here I have negative 4 times 15. We have one negative sign. So again, I just multiply the 4 and the 15, that is 60. And because I had one negative sign in the original problem, I have a negative sign in my answer. So we end up with negative 60. Finally, if I have an even number of negative signs. So we have negative 3 times negative 12. We multiply the 3 and 12 to get to 36. Because there's two negative signs, our answer is positive. And we can cover more examples in class if need be. Finally, if we're dividing integers, the rules are the same as if we are multiplying as to whether we have a negative answer or a positive answer. So 20 divided by 4, again beginning with what we've been using for a number of years, we know that answer is 5. If I have a negative 64 divided by 8, negative 64 divided by negative 8, I go through and we know 64 divided by 8 is 8. We have two negative signs, so our final answer is positive. If I have an odd number of negative signs, such as 35 divided by negative 7, I can go ahead and divide. We know that's 5, and then I think about the negative signs. There's one negative sign, so my answer is a negative 5. Finally, if I have a negative sign on the second number, or pardon me, on the first number, so we have negative 48 divided by 6. We know negative 48 divided by 6 is 8. We have one negative sign, so our final answer is negative. So again, at this point, that concludes our review of operations with positive and negative integers. I'm hoping that the voice comes through well for the students and that you're able to take this, watch it, and again, my goal is to try and keep all videos under 10 minutes if at all possible. We'll see you tomorrow.